Light circled in the same arch on the lantern as Endry swung it in a wide circle around the pivot of Endry's fist. Heavy iron edges dug into the mass of rippled gray that made a massive spear point of flesh and cartilage. A demonic roar filled the room as the lantern was thrown in this arch with all the force Endry could disperse in a single rotation. In response, Endry gave a primordial shout back at the being that had been there since the seas were breathable. The monster fed on the terror we feel in the moments before death. Bare feet planted and shoulders squared as light danced around the room with the glow of the spinning lantern once more. Endrymion stood resolute as the being crashed into the walls and roared again. Hissing and scorch marks bloomed wherever the ancient being struck the walls, until it finally stilled. An ugly, discolored dent marred the surface where Endry's blow had landed. He took note of the damage as his arm resumed its steady, rhythmic motion, setting the makeshift morning star spinning once more. The lantern at the end whirled faster and faster, momentum building until its glow traced an unbroken circle through the air, a streak of light trailing behind the molded metal box. Endry continued his questioning while shadows rotated with the swinging light, Kiara having returned to the safety standing behind Endry provided in the moments of action. "What do you do to make all this?" Endry gestured upwards with his chin towards the inverted ceiling. "Death justified." But the being did not answer. Instead, it lay still, a portion of its cylindrical body rising and falling in a slow rhythm as it expelled and then breathed air back into its massive lungs. Silence. Other than this slow, warm wind and whirring of the spinning chain, filled the chamber. The pounding of the door behind Kiara stopped. When, Endry hadn't noticed. Whomever must have returned to find another key, or tending to whomever was made a cripple by the slamming of the door. That this thing must have assisted with. The realization did not deter Endry from staying prepared to swing his weapon once more. This thing fed off terror by its own admission and could just as easily have trapped him and Kiara with it to feed indefinitely.